Well, I think it is very important to understand that actually the European Union is like a kind of you might call it a kind of project, in the sense that it has no precedence in the world. I mean, there's no model that the European Union is following. It's a one-of-a-kind project in the world that you need to well, actually, it's important to see that it started after the Second World War. I think that the experience in Europe of two devastating wars was actually the beginning of thinking about how to overcome these kind of problems. And as soon as the Second World War ended in 1945, people started to think, politicians started to think, what's next? I mean, how are we going to not only to rebuild the continent, but how are we going to make this continent a peaceful continent? And the basic idea actually was that rather than fighting for hegemony on the European continent, let's work together in such a way that if we entangle the economies of the most important countries at that time, namely Germany and France, if we entangle the economies in such a way that having another war would be very counterproductive, then maybe we can solve this problem. So in a nutshell, this is the starting idea, how to make the European continent, how to transform it into a peaceful continent, so that a war, as it has experienced it twice in the 20th century, should not occur again. And it was actually the 6 countries, so Germany, France, Italy, Belgium, Luxembourg and the Netherlands, that started to cooperate economically together in such a way that was really the core of what later became what we now see as the European Union. So more and more countries entered the European Economic Zone. So actually the European project, or the project of the European Union as we know it today, is first and foremost an economic project. But it gradually developed into what we know it today, with a very strong also political body, as it is represented in the European Commission, European Parliament, and etc. So basically it's a project of nation states working together in order to build a kind of European and political unity in order to have a stand in the world and make Europe peaceful. That is what I would say in a nutshell to your students.